Unfortunately, this year I cannot be with you in Palo Alto, so I took this chance to give you some fresh information about what's happening in the European market. CrowdfundBeat asked me to make some comments on a desk analysis that has been conducted by a Swiss leading platform, which is named Investiere. The methodology is very simple. The data collected reflect the volume of the platform as stated on their website on February 20th, 2015. The analysis only considers platforms that offer equity or equity-like investment opportunities like mezzanine, so no lending. The analysis only takes platforms into consideration that publish their funding volumes on their website. So platforms who do not publish their funding volumes were not taken into consideration. This means that we have excluded Seeders, which does not publish aggregate numbers on investment amount or deals funded, and we have also excluded Syndicate Room because they do not disclose the amounts their investors raise, but only the aggregate of the total round. So let's look at the data. From the first slide, you can see that the leader of the chart is Crowdcube, with more than 82 million of volume raised on their platform. And after the English platform, there are two Germans, Seedmatch and Companisto, a French platform, which is YSeed, and Investiere, which is the Swiss platform, which is the author of this analysis. This is the total aggregate volume of investment raised on a platform. So not for a single year, but from their inception. Next slide shows the date of inception, of start of business of this platform. And we can see that you need at least 3 or 4 years to establish a considerable business with a significant raise of amounts of money for equity projects. The volume leadership is confirmed by next slide, which shows the number of projects that have been presented and successfully funded on each of the top 5 platforms that we show. So Crowdcube is again the leader with 194 successfully funded projects, while Investiere is the 5th with 31 projects successfully funded on their platform. What I find very interesting is the average size of the deals, which is far below the €500,000. Crowdcube is not the leader for that because the best average is of Companisto, which has €430,000 of average. Anyway, we can see from this slide that the amount of money that you can raise on an equity platform is not yet much, probably because most of the deals which are proposed in Europe are linked with innovation, so it's money which has a high risk, and there is not yet real estate in the region. Then the last piece of very interesting information is about the ticket of the investment, so the minimum investment required to the crowd. So Crowdcube has a very low amount, which is just £10, which is the entry level, and Companisto even lower, it's €5. Instead, Investiere has the higher amount of investment required to the investor. These are just theoretical figures because as a matter of fact nobody invests as much as £10 or €5 in a project, and the average investment per person is usually much higher of these amounts. An interesting last piece of information is the average investment per investor. While Crowdcube, which is the leader of the chart, has an average of €2,380 per investor, Seedmatch has an average of 1,000, but it is the Swiss platform Investiere that has the record of this particular chart, because their average investment for investor is over 26,000 euro. So apparently this is the platform that has a network of angel investors which have a bigger investment through equity crowdfunding. So summing up, I see three takeaways of this research. The first is that the market is still very small. The second is that target companies are mostly innovative companies which are financed with less than €500,000. And third, that most investors in the European landscapes are still angel investors. So there is still much work to be done in order to bring the real crowd to equity crowdfunding. Goodbye to everybody.